Hello everyone, this is Zach back again. Just going to explain why NHL 22 is going to be a huge disappointment and why EA is completely failing on their part to improve the game that many of us actually, unfortunately we enjoy it even though it's a dying game. And it is very unfortunate that EA no longer listens to their fans. They don't listen to the player base, and they unfortunately put out just a bad game in general. It's been going on for years. Ever since EA lost competition, this is for Madden, FIFA, NHL, even NBA Live. Ever since EA lost their competition, which was usually 2K, the quality of their product is just drastically dropped. It's no longer on par what the community expects, and EA, unfortunately, as we've seen, just doesn't want to do anything about it. They don't want to change anything. They're just fine with doing whatever. So, unfortunately, we're just given bad quality products every year. And unfortunately, there's people out there who want to spend their $60 to buy the game. Like myself, I'm an idiot. I usually end up buying all the games on release date for $60. And we see they're in alpha phase, and it takes like half a year for them to put out updates to actually fix the game for it to run. But the community now is starting to, we're getting tired of EA. We all know they're a terrible company. The quality of all their products is just awful. Madden got a 0.5 Metacritic score, so we know how that is. But yet EA just refuses to listen to fans. So we're just going to take a look at their Twitter, explain why NHL 22 is going to be a huge disappointment. So you look, their first tweet, which is their pinned tweet, it's about just more of the gameplay and all that. But we see most of the time the gameplay hasn't changed. Yes, they added X Factors, which is kind of a win on EA's part. They added the Frostbite engine, which makes the game look better and it runs smoother. I will give them credit for that. But outside of that, they've done nothing. So we scroll down on franchise, which they're going to drop on October 4th. To me, the only way it saves it is if they announce GM Connected or some sort of online franchise, but we already know they're not going to do that, which is a fail in their part. Which means EA, once again, haven't listened to their fans. Let's take a look. I don't know if I could scroll through. Yeah, so here's a post from me. No form of online franchise. Has 20 likes. You see people just saying X Factor's a selling point for franchise mode. It's, like I said, everyone here, it's just negative comments. X Factor, no online franchise, X Factor. Some guy complaining about the menus. You just see the whole community of NHL is just awful, or they're not awful, but they're all upset with the EA and their commitment to improving the game and making it better. Me personally, franchise is one of my top modes in NHL, but it unfortunately dies really quickly. I mean, I enjoy making Legends franchises. I enjoy creating players or whatever and doing a franchise with them. But I've always wished that we had an online franchise mode. That way I could play with my friends. We could see who's the better GM out of us. We could make trades between each other and play each other. Kind of like online Madden. Like we see everyone making online franchises in Madden, playing against their friends, actually having fun and all that. But EA and NHL, even though everyone's asked for GM Connected over the past couple years, EA just doesn't listen. Which if 2K still made a hockey game, I guarantee EA would have an online franchise mode. The X Factors and all that. Scouting looks the same, as always. I mean, there's not much you could do with scouting. I guess the only thing I would add for EA and NHL draft classes, which may be the ability to edit them. Later on, especially later on, you just kind of have randomly generated people. If somebody on your team retires and you want to make a created player, go for it. That would actually be somewhat interesting, I guess. That way you could continue your franchise. Like, say Crosby retires, you want to make a center, whatever. Ovi retires, you want to make a left wing, make a left wing. Well, other than that, menus look the same. Yeah, menus look the same. Scouting looks the same. It just doesn't look like... It looks like they copied and pasted from NHL 21 franchise mode, except for the new X Factors, which I'm not trying to go after EA for the X Factors. I believe it's actually a decent feature to add, but it's not enough. It is the bare minimum. They're just doing the basic stuff. It's a disappointment, especially with the fans. We demand things and they just don't listen. We go down to their next post. We see Shell. Shell's a copy and paste. Yeah, I know they show, alright, the menus are different, yeah, whatever, but the menus don't determine gameplay. Gameplay determines gameplay. You see them editing their abilities and all that. The abilities are just going to be the traits and abilities of last year. It's no real difference. Yeah, there's an X factor, which if you look at them from a thing, it's pretty much just some of the traits or abilities from last year. So it's a complete waste. Had nothing to, no improvements at all, even though they want to make it seem like they improved anything. It is a copy and paste, just completely. The ability to add 5 points to certain abilities and then you have to take 5 points off, well, you have to even out the experience points. It's still just a basic improvement they did. It's nothing. Most of the community wants us to have the overall system back. That way, the more games you play, the better your player gets, the more reasons you actually have to play the game. The big issue with EA is because of that they didn't do it that way. There is no reason to play Shell. The useless hockey bag system doesn't give you a reason to play it. Nobody hops on ooh, I'm ready to open my hockey bags or whatever. Just nobody cares about the hockey bags. There's no reason to play because you have nothing to work towards. And it's pretty much copy and paste. So, once again, big L on their part. It's just going to be another disappointment because it's a copy and paste. If they had competition, once again, they would listen to their fan base and probably Shell would be decent. But it's not, so it's unfortunate. And then with them creating four separate servers for each system. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. Four separate servers for the PS5 server, Xbox Series X, Xbox One X, or Xbox One and PS4. That just divides the base. No cross-platform, no cross-gen system. Just ruins it. Player base is going to be very low this year. I mean, it was low last year, but it's going to be even lower this year because you're not going to be able to play. Everyone's just going to be stuck to whatever console they have. And then the fact that a lot of people see that it is a copy and paste game, they're just going to leave the community as a whole. So, overall, Shell and all that, that'll be dead after a month. People may play franchise or whatever for a little bit longer, but this game is just going to be dead within a month or two. It might even be dead on arrival. You might just see nobody playing it, especially because the fall time, a bunch of games come out. You got the new Call of Duty coming out, you have the new Forza coming out, you have, I shouldn't say Madden, but people play Madden for whatever reason because it's another copy and paste game. You have FIFA coming out, which, I'll be on because FIFA Pro Clubs is how they should do Shell. Because FIFA Pro Clubs, you actually have a reason to play the game. Shell, you don't. There's just a lot of games that are coming out. NBA came out, I think, today. People will be on that a lot. So, Shell's just kind of NHL overall. Like, I get their X Factors and all that are like marketing it, but to me, that's just not enough. The way EA should actually delay this game and put it out, like, should delay it and actually listen to their fans. You either got to put out online franchise mode or completely redo Shell by the time it comes out, because it's just going to be a dead game on arrival. You've done nothing to actually upgrade it outside of the Frostbite engine, making the menus look cleaner, and adding X Factors. Other than that, it is a copy and paste of a game. And as you could see, the only game mode they actually care about, Hut, because that's how EA makes their money. So this is the only game mode I have a feeling that you're going to see any actual change towards this Hut, because they know people will play it, they will spend their money, and they will buy packs, covering those who don't buy it or those who just wait for it to be on sale or whatever. It's Ultimate Team. You see Ultimate Team introduced in Madden. The quality of Madden has went down since. FIFA Ultimate Team. FIFA quality is still, I shouldn't say it's improved, but it's also it's essentially the same. It's still, there's some areas that could be improved. There's also some bad areas and all that. NHL just completely awful ever since they introduced Hut. Quality has went down. The gameplays went down. It's just EA. It's what they do. They don't care about the actual gameplay. They care whether or not you're buying Ultimate Team packs. You look at also some features that they don't cover on here. The same commentary team is in the game from last year, which everyone knows what's going to happen. The first game they play, and to hear that James Klabusky or whatever his name is person, they're going to immediately mute the game because that dude is insufferable. He's an awful commentator. I don't know why they have him. All he does is yell at everything. The past two NHLs, I immediately muted everything in the game. It is just insufferable. You can't listen to that guy during the gameplay. It's awful. It's a complete waste. They want to do Shell again. I already covered this Shell. Another disappointment. They put out their beta, and I played it for like an hour. It was so boring. No changes at all. It was a copy and paste. You look at the menus, they are better. I'll at least give them that. Menus are better. This, of course, they're saving Hockey Team or Ultimate Team for last, because that's going to be the one where they're like, oh yeah, we're going to reel you in with all these changes into Ultimate Team. I completely forgot about Be a Pro because NHL does not focus on it at all. And if they do, it's some stupid storyline. All I'm asking for is they do not do Madden storyline. Madden storylines are the worst storylines in any sports game ever. They are so stupid. They are so bland and just unrealistic. And the fact that they're like preset teams and stuff you get drafted to is just ridiculously dumb. NHL 22 gameplay trailer, it looks the exact same. I mean, the graphics look better, like I've already covered. But other than that, it's a copy and paste of a game, which is why, in my belief, this game is going to be dead on arrival or dead after a month, and it's just going to be a huge disappointment. I understand EA doesn't have all the resources to put towards NHL. They put it towards Madden, they put it towards FIFA, because overall they have a bigger fan base, player base. But EA and NHL, back whenever 2K was in the game for NHL, 2K was awful as a hockey game. I'll give EA all the credit that they had the better product back then. But since 2K has stopped making hockey games, EA's quality of NHL has just dropped drastically. It's copy and paste year after year. They do the bare minimum to say it's an improvement, and then suckers like us spend $60 on the game on release just to play a hockey game. This is the year, I believe, all fan bases of all three of their games. Madden's already out, so that's it. But FIFA, NHL, and then next year in Madden. The fan base has to stand up. We either have to not buy the game or buy it whenever it's on sale for like $20. Do not buy it at 60 and don't play Ultimate Team. Just let Ultimate Team die. Make EA realize that they have to focus on the gameplay. Make them realize that Ultimate Team is not the only game mode that they have in the game. Make them realize that the quality of the products they put out are god-awful. And unfortunately, even though a lot of us are going to want to play hockey or whatever, we're going to want to play a soccer game, we're going to want to play football, you have to stand up and say no more. No more just robbing us, no more putting out games in alpha, and then halfway through the year releasing updates that are like, oh, it's finally fixed. We have to take a stand. We have to pretty much tell EA that we're sick of this. We want them to listen to us. We want them to actually make changes that all of us can appreciate. And you look at RBT, he got Fix Madden franchise to trend on Twitter last year because of the fact that Madden or EA did nothing with franchise. And EA actually saw that. I mean, yeah, they did the bare minimum once again on updating the franchise, but they at least did some change once the community stood together and rose up. Same needs to happen for NHL. There is no way. If none of us stand up, we don't stop buying the game, we don't stop playing Ultimate Team, EA is just going to continue to rob us. They're going to continue to copy and paste year and year, and it's just going to be the same stuff over and over again. Like, if I wish I had the ability to get, fix NHL franchise to trend, because GM Connected should be in the game right now. There is no reason in 2021 that they should not have an online franchise mode. Be a pro. I mean, 2021. Be a pro should be... 2K does a great thing on story mode for NBA. The issue is you have hackers and stuff, but EA, their story mode's awful. Their gameplay, awful. They just don't listen to fans. They don't put their best effort into it, and the quality of the product is below par. It is just awful, and we as the community have to stand up. We have to take a stand and say, no, we're not going to do this. And hopefully through that, EA will start listening. So I'm hoping this year NHL I hope I'm proven wrong by EA and they listen and come when was the date again? October 4th, they do release that there's going to be an online franchise mode. We already know they're not. But yeah, overall, NHL 22, it's going to be a huge disappointment. They put Frostbite in, and yeah, it's a good win for them. They made the menus cleaner and all that, and they've added X factors. But other than that, they have not changed anything. It is a copy and paste. You see the same exploit goals in. You see the same shitty AI that's always been in the game that they need to fix. And it's just not going to be an enjoyable experience. I mean, every year since NHL 20, the last time they had GM Connected in, and whenever Shell was overall, you've seen your games just completely drop in Shell. You used to put thousands of games in just so your player was good, and now I maybe get on and play 100 games a year. It's there's no reason to play. You have no interest in it. You're not excited to get on and play. You're not, hey, I have to get on and play to get my guy better. Gameplay-wise, franchise mode, you're nothing enjoyable about it. There's really, one thing they got to do is they got to add the ability in franchise mode to edit any player's overall or whatever. Because you look, it's a problem in all of their games. Once players hit certain ages, their overalls drastically drop, which in the case of you look at the NFL, Tom Brady's still going out at 44, Crosby, Ovi, all that, they're still doing amazing at their ages. It's like people don't. Yeah, age plays a part into it, but if somebody is still good, their overall should show that in a game. And in every EA game, it's the opposite. It's once you hit a certain age, your players just drop off for no reason. There's just small things that they could add and change about this game, but not just this game, but all EA games to make them just that much better. But unfortunately, we get a quality product that is just below average, and it doesn't care. It doesn't listen to the fans. It's with no actual competition in the marketplace, they're able to put out a shitty game and they realize people will buy it because that is our only means of playing a hockey game. That's our only means of playing a football game. I mean, you look at NBA Live. NBA Live's dead because 2K, everyone knows 2K is the better basketball product. Madden, unfortunately, has the NFL's rights, so they're the only ones that can make a simulation football game. It's like, it's just those small things, and they don't listen to their fans, and they put out the worst products, and we as a community we feel the need to buy them because that's our only means of actually playing. And unfortunately, it is a sad thing, but it has to change, and it's just gonna go downhill from here. That's why, in my personal opinion, NHL 22 is just going to be a huge disappointment. There's no reason to buy it at full price. It's a copy and paste of a game, and that's it. It's going to be dead in a month or two. If you liked what I had to say, please subscribe. Please like. If you want to see me shit on EA Sports throughout the year, please like and subscribe. Other than that, if you have any disagreements, let me know. If not, it is what it is. Have a good one.